Welcome into the Bettor's Edge. I am Drew Martin stepping in for the Prez, who is on vacation for a couple days. So we'll keep this train rolling. We got Mid-Major Matt in the house from sportsmemo.com. Follow him on Twitter at Mid-Major Matt. Matt, welcome in. How you doing?
Doing great. The best time of year. You got hockey, basketball, college football, pro football, baseball playoffs, college basketball stuff starting to warm up a little bit as well.
Absolutely, man. Good time to be a sports bettor, and we'll do a quick show here, give out some good content on what to bet and why. Let's start off MLB. We got an early one on Saturday, 2:05 Eastern. First pitch here, playoffs. Tampa at Houston. We got Glasnow versus Verlander. Looks like the Houston Astros commanding a minus 200 price tag at home, Matt. Total of 7. I don't know. I'm of the camp, ride the wild card winner, but I know a lot of people aren't. The price is telling us not to. So what are you thinking here with the Rays and the Astros?
Well, Verlander's been incredible this year. He had that down year a couple years ago, and then all of a sudden he's been really good since then and everything. And certainly I don't like fading Justin Verlander. Tyler Glasnow's an interesting guy. He pitched really well, got hurt in May, and then came back earlier in September, and has been pretty good since coming back, although he's not throwing a ton of innings. He's going about, 3-4 innings a pop here, so that's a bit of a concern. This is one of those games where, I've become more of a 5-inning type guy. I would look to see, the total's kind of low, so you're probably going to get a 3.5, maybe a 4 for the first 5 total. The question is, can you hold down the Astros? Can Glasnow go through the order once, maybe once and a half, before turning it over to the bullpen? If you believe he can, then I would take the first 5 under. If you believe he can't, then maybe you look at a full game total because, the Rays bullpen's not as good. And so the Astros have a little bit of a deficient bullpen in places too.
Absolutely. Good stuff there in the MLB. Let's move on to the NFL. We got New England at Washington. Patriots laying 15.5, 42.5 the total. Matt, I know you know this Redskins team, and what is it worth kind of fading them here and laying a big number with the Patriots?
Well, so here's the thing. So I never, in good conscience, like to lay that many points in the row. It's just something in my betting background that I don't like to do. I'll tell you what the score will be. I think the Patriots will win like 42-10. That means I think they'll cover, but that's not necessarily what I would like you to do. There's backdoor covers. By the way, the Patriots have a game Thursday night against the Giants. Maybe they take Brady out. Maybe they, go to a conservative game plan in the second half. And then, you start losing that opportunity. Redskins score a touchdown late and the back door is open. So I think the Patriots are going to blow out the Redskins. The Redskins don't know their quarterback situation yet. I have a feeling it's going to be Colt McCoy if he's healthy enough. If it's not Colt McCoy, I have a feeling it's going to be Dwayne Haskins, which could be even worse. The Redskins defense is terrible. Greg Minuski should not have a job. I think the total is probably the better way to go in this game. But look, if you really want to take the Patriots, it's just I don't feel you could consistently win and make money betting on the road favorite by this amount of points, especially in a name your score situation.
Matt, let's head across the pond here as the Chicago Bears are going to take on the Oakland Raiders. Bears laying 5 or 5.5, 40.5 the total. What are you thinking here with the handicap going, over to our friends over in England?
Yeah, so here's the thing with the overseas games. Obviously, the better team is the Bears. It's just there's weird things that occasionally happen when we take the game off of American soil. The one thing, there's several things to consider. One, the Raiders have been on the road forever. They played 2 straight road games. This is their 3rd road game. They have a bye week, and then they have 2 more road games. So that's something to consider for the future. 2, they're banged up. They lose Vontaze Burfict to the suspension. They've got guys who are questionable. Richie Incognito, Tyrell Williams, Josh Jacobs, all dealing with various ailments. Don't know if they're going to play, but it's something to consider. On the Bears side, Hakeem Hicks has not practiced. There are other guys that are banged up on the Bears side. The other thing to consider is the Raiders are very familiar with the London scene. They've done this, I think, 4 or 5 times already in their career, including last year. The Bears last did this in 2011, I believe, as I just looked it up. They've only done it once, and they've played games in London. Completely different crew. Got to get used to the time change, your body clocks, got to get used to the field, got to get used to the fans. So I think a lot of people instantly run to take the Bears. But since this is a different venue, maybe you got to read the tea leaves a little bit more. Read the press clippings. Find out when the Bears are going to Europe. Find out what they're doing in terms of sleep clocks and food and things like that. So the Bears are the better team, of course, but do some research and read up on the coach and the players and what they're saying about this trip, because a lot of them, this is the first time they've ever done this.
Matt, let's head to the college ranks here. We got Virginia Tech at Miami in an ACC battle, and the Canes laying 14 with the redshirt freshman quarterback, 46.5 the total in Hard Rock Stadium.
This line is interesting. This really you have to decide who do you trust more. Miami, their 2 wins are against Bethune-Cookman, who they blew out, and Central Michigan, who they only won 17-12 against. You look at the numbers, just off the numbers, Miami's doing everything right. They're averaging over 400 yards of offense. They're holding opponents down on defense, but something's not translating into victories. They lost to North Carolina. They lost to Florida. Good teams in their own right. You've got a dying quail in Virginia Tech heading to your building. It should be a rocking atmosphere. Look, everything surrounding Virginia Tech is toxic right now in terms of they don't play defense. They're really young. They struggle against mobile quarterbacks. Bud Foster's leaving at the end of the year, retiring. I don't think he's getting pushed out. Justin Fuente's play calling is getting questioned. Ryan Willis is playing like a quarterback who came from Kansas. They bring in this kid, Hendon Hooker. All he does is run the ball. Well, teams are going to stack the box against him. He's only thrown 2 passes in his college career. And then there's Quincy Patterson, who is a guy who everybody wants to see play, but we don't know if he's actually ready. The thing is, it's a 2-touchdown number. Do you trust Miami to blow them out when they're the way better team, or are they going to lay an egg like they did against Central Michigan? The better side might be the total. You might want to consider the under because I don't know how many points Virginia Tech's going to score, and maybe you get a 35-10 type game. Maybe you get a 28-13 type game in this situation. Miami should win this game. They're the better team, but can you trust them after some of the results earlier this year?
Yeah, it's an interesting one there. I know you know the Virginia Tech program well, and even if a team's heading down, that's a great way to make money at times. Matt, just a little kind of quick segment here, FCS style. I know you know the small conferences very well, as good as anybody out there. And guys, check out his packages at sportsmemo.com. Very much recommend it. Use MMM69 at checkout for his 7-day all access for less than $10 a day. Just $69 for his 7-day all access. Get MLB, NFL, and of course, college football. Every play, every sport he's handicapping, all released less than $10 a day. Coupon code MMM69 at sportsmemo.com. Any FCS tidbits you want to throw out there to the watchers, Matt? Also, anything on this JMU game?
Yeah, certainly. This is it's tough with regards to the FCS lines, especially there's no FCS FBS game, so you could kind of look at the FCS lines. And I don't dig into a lot of the conferences. I do mostly the CAA and stuff like that because we're in Richmond country, William & Mary, JMU. We talk to the coaches and the players and stuff like that, the broadcasters. JMU is an interesting situation here. There's their 3rd straight road game. They've played 3 road games at Chattanooga. Last week, they took on their former coach's team, Elon. They allowed a touchdown the first minute in and went on and crushed them in the game. Now's the 3rd contest in a row on the road against a nationally ranked Stony Brook team. They're kind of similar. Both these teams want to run the ball. They have good defenses. I have a feeling JMU may struggle a little bit. 3rd straight road game. We see that in basketball. We see that in pro football. We see that in other places. When you're on the road for a while, your emotions start to play around with you a little bit. The number has actually gone down. We talked about this on your Every Game podcast. Mm-hmm. It's actually gone down since then. It's around 41. The problem is it's only on 5 dimes right now. So if you have 5 dimes, I suggest you jump on it now. If you don't, your book may not necessarily put it out. I'd be paying attention on Saturday as close to kickoff as possible. I think a lot of these books are scared of the FCS lines because if you're betting on the FCS games, you obviously think you have an edge, and so they don't want you to have as much time. They want you to forget it's coming up. You know, oh, it's kickoff, by the way. JMU just kicked off. I forgot to put my bet in. If you get a chance, I would say, especially at 41, I think JMU can score that many points themselves. But I also think there's a chance there's a little bit of a letdown, and their defense gives up some points as well. So over 41 for JMU Stony Brook, if you can get it now.
Good stuff from Mid-Major Matt. Follow him on Twitter at Mid-Major Matt. His package is at sportsmemo.com. Coming to us live, ESPN Richmond there. Good background, Matt. Thanks for the time, bro, and best of luck this weekend.
Yes, best of luck to you as well.